So what is our fourth quarter topic tonight?
Fourth quarter topic. We're gonna keep it on the hardwood here, but talk a little NCAA March Madness, Rutledge. And it seems like we kind of know who the best teams are, so we're going to talk about teams towards the bottom of of this tournament here. We're going to kind of ask who are some of the top teams in, who are the last teams in, who are the last teams out, and if there's any one team in particular that you want to talk about during this time.
Yeah, so we're both going to give our take of someone who we think is going to go in for sure, and someone we both think is going to go out. I think that Wisconsin is going to definitely make their way into the tournament, but they have a lot of work to do. They are going to do it on the back of making some shots around the arc. They have the second highest amount of 3 points made in the entire Big Ten. Their schedule is a little interesting as they have Illinois, Purdue, and Iowa. Iowa leads the Big Ten in 3 point shots, so they need to win out and have a big win in order to make their way into the big dance and probably have a good showing in their championship tournament.
So in terms, yes. So I would say that in terms of playing their way in, there's a team that if you had asked me this 1 week ago, I would have said something different. But I'm going to go Duke. Duke is, and this is a big time addition by subtraction kind of thing. Their best player quit the team. He's saying opting out, but he kind of quit the team. And Duke is undefeated now with their best player out. They just had a big win against Syracuse this on Monday. They're playing Louisville. They're getting hot at the right time, and I think that the NCAA wants that's not good if you don't have Duke in your tournament. So I'm saying Duke is going to be the last team in. That is assuming that they take care of business against Louisville this Saturday up in the KFC Center.
Do you think they serve KFC in the KFC Center?
Good night. I hope so.
Like what kind?
My brother-in-law now lives in Louisville, so maybe we can have him on the show and ask him.
You should. We'll do a friends drop in. One question: what do they serve in the KFC Center?
And why are you not drinking bourbon right now?
Yeah,
You live in the fonthead of bourbon.
yeah. Plus riding a horse. So,
Bourbon, horses, all kinds of stuff.
I wonder if the horses drink bourbon.
That must be why they run so fast,
We are
or
definitely
why we think they run so fast.
we are definitely a lot more friends than sports tonight here on Friends Stream
Dude,
Sports.
good thing that's not getting on our Facebook page.
This is true. We
We might get canceled if we talk about horses drinking bourbon on our Facebook page.
I think we are. I don't think anything else bad can happen to us when we are going to mine through the gold mines and find out why our Facebook got taken away from us. But it was definitely a surprise of my day and how I sort of got Connor's attention. One text message of, "Hey, we got kicked off of Facebook. Why?
And I
Oh,
was
I don't
climbing
know."
a mountain.
That's a You were definitely that brings a whole different thing to the Sound of Music song "Climb Every Mountain" when you get crushed on the mountain with your Facebook page disappearing.
No doubt. No
So,
doubt, no doubt. So who's out? Speaking of no doubt, who's out?
who's out with a lot of doubt is Oregon. Oregon is out. Oregon has tried for a while to be a strong basketball conference team in the Pac-12, and they've done okay, but I definitely have them going out. They have the third best record in the Pac-12, but they dropped a 72 to 58 loss to USC recently, and they really needed that. USC is the only team ranked in the Pac-12, and as far as all college sports go, the West Coast, you have to be very flashy in order to get the nation's attention. So they're in very much of a struggle. So I have Oregon going out. Um, they had a good,
Rutledge, did you just tip a segment? Talking about
maybe,
being flashy on the West Coast.
possibly. More to
Oh
come.
my gosh!
More Zoom calls to come
Wow.
later.
Talk about tipping a segment.
Talk about ticking a
Uh,
segment.
so yeah, so Oregon is your last team out. I'm gonna talk about a traditional power, and it's gonna be a real shame because the year that the entirety of the tournament is being played in their own home state, I do not see Indiana making the tournament. They've had a lackluster season so far. They're sitting on the bubble right now. A few of their last games involved Michigan State and Purdue. Michigan State, not the team that they usually are, but always a tough out. Could very well be said that Indiana's kind of, they might not come out with that same firepower. Don't think they're going to beat Purdue. So I'm definitely seeing Indiana not make the tournament this year.
That would be a real shame to be at home and then see something bad happen. Speaking of seeing something bad happen, hey Connor, did you pick the all-time Nets team when we rebooted this game?
Sure did.
You dirty dog, you. I've been wondering why I've been getting smoked. And I realized, like, that effort looks pretty sweet. Wait, that's Jules Irving. Why is Jules Irving on the current Nets roster?
Hey,
Oh, oh
that's how good
man.
that's how much that the Nets needed hope was they've got Dr. J back.
You got, because that, he did that one leaping layup, and I just looked too good. And like, wow.
Literally, Vince Carter's on the bench right now.
I saw Vince Carter in. I was like, was that Vince Carter? There's no way that's Vince Carter. And I didn't want to make myself look like I don't know what I'm talking about. But
He was on the Hawks circa this game.
he was on, he was on the Hawks slash also on ESPN in the bubble because the Hawks didn't make the bubble.
Oh my gosh, that is
Welcome
true.
to
Although this game does predate the bubble.
This game does predate a bubble. This is going to be a highlight for this week of Friend Stream Sports when Rutledge learns the truth.
Yes.
With
So speaking of truth, Rutledge, bring us some truth. Which talk about the conferences, right? Which conference is going to have some of the biggest ups, biggest happiness as throughout the NCAA tournament?
You mean which conference is going to have the most of their teams in it, aka be the best of friends that would not pull a fast one on their friends
Yeah, I'm down.
whilst getting losing a video game? Yeah. Okay. So if I were to pick a conference in that analogy, I would pick um I would definitely say the most team ends is going to be the Big 12, and that's because out of all the normal traditional powers, Kansas is starting to don't you dare. Um
Oh, so close.
Kansas is definitely starting to make a turn. Kansas is making a turnaround. They're probably going to be a lock in the tournament. Texas and Texas Tech do play this weekend, but I see the Big 12 sending in the most teams into the tournament with bringing in 7 total teams. Who do you have bringing in the most?
Yeah, I think especially because of everybody who's down. Yeah, I see the Big 12 not just bringing the most teams, but having the best chance to win it. Right? You even pull Baylor out. Uh, Oklahoma State is who's probably the number one ranked player. Kansas can always make a deep run. It's definitely a going to be a Big 12 kind of year.
Definitely going to be a Big 12 kind of year. I do not have the Big 12 uh, winning the championship though. I have a Big 10 team winning the championship, and that goes mostly on the shoulders of Michigan. Um, but there's a lot of the top of the Big 10 is doing very well. This could be a day to bring out the long yellow shorts and the black sneakers again for the Big 10. But I definitely think Big Ten is going to take the victory in the tournament. You'll have a Big Ten team win. They might play a Big 12 team in the finals, but I have a Big Ten team winning March Madness.
Michigan sure played good this weekend against Ohio State.
They did. They did. They had a good showing. It was a big marquee game, and they're getting a lot of national attention. So plus with like I said, my pick of get down, Brooke Lopez. With my pick of having Wisconsin make it in, that adds to the fact that they might produce a champion. So
That's yeah.
green,
I,
good.